Welcome to our first British Chamber of Commerce in Macao podcast. In these virus times, we are exploring other ways to communicate with our members. Our speaker today is Joe Liu. Joe Liu is the director of multiple Macao enterprises with a diversified business portfolio encompassing fintech, e-commerce, media marketing and public affairs. One of these companies is Macao Pass SA. Joe talked about MPay, a Macao Beyond Payment, and how MPay will change Macao further. Thank you for listening to our Britcham podcast. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keith Buckley. I am the chairman of Britcham Macao, for those of you who haven't seen me before. What can I say? Welcome back to the real world. The last time we had an event here was January. Well, not even here, actually. The last Britcham event was January, so it's taken us 6 months to get up and running with our breakfast, so today is the first one. So, no more to do. I will hand over to Joe, and he's going to give us his talk. Thank you, Joe.
Right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. This must be the earliest time I've ever given a talk. But I'll try to stay awake. I hope everybody stays awake. And thank you. So thank you, Keith, for the great introduction and for the invitation today. And special thanks to Anna for amazing work in organizing everything. So it's just been amazing, wonderful. So before I jump into my topic today, just a quick question. I know Keith asked who is not using MPay, but who hasn't heard of MPay? So I know how much detail I should go into my introduction. Oh, great, no, not too bad. All right, okay. So a quick one about myself. This is the first time I met some new faces today. So yes, it's good I'm in Britcham today because I indeed spent almost half of my life in the UK before. I went there to study since high school, stayed on till university, worked there for a few years before I came back to Macau. And when I came back to Macau, my hometown, I see there is still a lot that can be done, and even though it is such a small place, Macau has simply been booming for the last decade or so. So while I came back, I was observing, I was learning. I'm not from a finance background, nor a tech background, nor the background of anything I'm actually doing today. So but as I say, Macau is a fascinating place. I believe everybody, our friends, everybody here, if you have the willingness to learn, to try. I think that there are still a lot of opportunities out there. So, right. So I'm going to start off my talk today. A little quick one about Moan. Is the first company that I've started since I came back to Macau, and that has actually has a direct relationship to Macao Pass and MPay thereafter. So I'm going to explain why. We are currently the largest outdoor TV media in Macau with over 1,000 screens in the city. And together with our screens, we actually linked that together with the mobile phones. We thought, okay, since everybody's looking at our channel, we can then distribute coupons, offers around town, lucky draws, and so on via WeChat, because obviously, WeChat is the primarily, messaging, tool that the locals use and the tourists that comes to Macau use. So we link that up together with WeChat platform to give we make our own games, we give offers and coupons and so on. So as a result, as a marketing company, we can really show our partners and clients that we are not just an impression-driven media company. What we do together, we have to make sure we drive results, we have to drive sales, we have to drive visitations and so on, just to prove that we work. So This is our penetration in Macau through our screens and mobile phones. And how did that link up with Macao Pass? So I was running MOM for about 5 years. And then Macao Pass is actually a family business of mine. So as everybody may already know, Macao Pass has traditionally been known as, the octopus of Macau. But in fact, we started before octopus in Hong Kong. But Macao Pass started in 1996. Is a continuation of another family business of mine, Transmet Bus, the public bus in Macau, the yellow one. And so at that time, Macao Pass started purely to serve as an electronic ticketing system for the buses to give convenience to bus passengers going up and down. But as we know, Macau, there's only 2 forms of public transport until recently. It was primarily driven by buses and then taxis. So with the popularity of the bus ticketing system coming up, suddenly we realized the majority of the Macau citizens are now using the Macao Pass card. So why don't we try to do more and more? So over the years, Macao Pass has slowly developed. We slowly increased our network around the city from just pure transportation based to retail driven. Convenience stores, coffee shops started using us, and it picked up over the years. But the boom really only happened about 4 years ago, when we brought in Alipay. We were the first party to bring in any sort of Chinese electronic payment into Macau. So we brought in Alipay at that time to try to serve the tourists, Chinese tourists coming to Macau. As they are very, very used to, a cashless way of life already. So in fact, that few years of running with Alipay and later on with WeChat Pay has helped us to really groom the Macau market to adopt to electronic forms of payment. Before, Macau was really still cash driven. The Macao Pass card can only give you a 1,000 MOP limit, so there's only so much you can do with that one card. So after bringing in the Alipay and WeChat Pay, our network really driven, and through a lot of promotions, education, and so on. Today we already have over 16,000 plus outlets in Macau, and last year we have a record-driven year with our company transact and handled 10 billion MOP of transaction, Hong Kong dollars transaction. So today, we try to leverage our network to try to take in as many forms of mobile payment tools as possible. So just to give further convenience to the merchants that are already using us. So as you can see, we take in all forms of mobile payments, including local bank wallets. Even though some may say they may conflict with MPay, I personally don't think so. So we will accept other forms of bank payments as well as Octopus. Actually, soon you will be able to use Octopus cards across all our network. So about MPay, MPay is my baby, me and my team's baby. After developing Alipay, we thought, okay, since the locals are now starting to accept electronic payment, why don't we launch our own, for Macau, because Alipay and WeChat Pay cannot be used, in Macau. So, locals with the local bank accounts, cannot put money easily in Alipay and WeChat Pay. So we tried, launching MPay just about 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2 years ago now, and today, I'm very happy to hear that most of us, or everyone has already heard of MPay, and most of us are actually using MPay. We have today already over 400,000 active users, and we are the only mobile wallet that supports multiple banks within Macau. We support now over 9 banks. In fact, we have connected to 10 banks, the 10th being BOC. We're still negotiating hard in how we can work better together. They're trying to swallow us up while we're trying to work with them. So it's a very interesting relationship. But yes, but we're connected to a lot of major banks in Macau now, and with a few more currently in development. Fortunately, today within the local market, we still hold over 90% of the local electronic wallet transactions. So in my opinion, I don't think we are competing with any bank. So that is also why, in the acquisition network, we want to accept other bank, wallets. Why not? We want to give the convenience to everybody. And we're being the only non-bank in Macau. We thought, okay, we are not a bank. We should not compete with the banks. We should work across all banks to share our network and to give further convenience to users and merchants. So this is our positioning, and I'll explain later how we do it. So this is our ecosystem. Is our philosophy in how we want to run MPay and Macao Pass as a company. As we are not a bank, we want to provide the easiest form of payment to everybody. So we accept everything, as I explained. So yeah, we accept everything as we explained. Secondly, in terms of payment, we want to give different forms of payment tools, not just the credit card swiping POS machine that everybody's used to, like that one there. But soon, or now increasingly, you will see, for example, the food court in New Yohan has already adopted us using mobile payment kiosks where you can order your food via your mobile phone, or even go and click and pay using electronic payments. And then a number of restaurants are starting to use our restaurant-based POS systems where you can do seat reservations, mobile food ordering, and so on. So we want to provide different types of services to help, most importantly, help merchants to drive business. If they use us, we need to prove it to them that they're better off working with us. We can help them drive business. Banks do not do that. Banks are banks. They put in the machine and the job is done. But they're more interested in opening accounts and providing financial services, which they do best. And second form is the online to offline O2O distribution. And that method was taken in from my media marketing company, Mo, because this is what we do best. From the screens to the mobile phone, giving offers, attracting customers back to to stores. So we use the same way. We leverage on our media company's network to give different offers. We work with our partners from Oktoberfest and MGM to Air Macao and Galaxy, and so on. And, this was a food festival in Macau last year where we were able to really draw in a lot of new customers and repeating customers for different events and merchants. More and more and more. So the existing MPay users will already know, if you go to Macao at the moment, there will be like a 25% off offer on all F&B and spas and so on. I think same for Galaxy, same for MGM at the moment. So we work really hard to give further promotions to everybody. So finally, our last segment is loyalty program. So we provide easy payment. We were able to give offers to attract anyone to come at least for the first time. But how do we make sure they come back and back and back again and more? And this is what local businesses are really interested in. So for the tourist part, we've developed we work exclusively with WeChat to bring in their well-known loyalty program membership schemes into Macau. So for the tourists, when they come to Macau, when they spend in our local merchant network, the participating partners, we will develop their own loyalty program for them, and that is embedded in WeChat. So when you make the payment, the WeChat will actually prompt you to, hey, would you like to join, for example, Starbucks loyalty program? Just a simple click of a button without really filling in pages of forms and so on. You already are a member. So the membership card will be stored virtually inside WeChat within the card pouch. So because obviously WeChat, if they're conducting payment for the individual, they already have all the necessary information required. So they simply passing on information with the user's consent to the merchant, so they can be enrolled automatically. So from then on, they can then use, collect points, coupons, and so on. For the local network, we have something called, not this one, but MCoin. The MPay users will know. MCoin is a locally based loyalty program, loyalty points program, where when you spend on MPay, you will collect points, and points can then be exchanged coupons. So coupons, we gather the coupons with our local merchants, again with the partners, because they now understand by giving some offers here and there, they can recruit new customers. So we store the coupons within MPay, and MCoin is our loyalty program where they can collect points and earn points and spend. And another way we're doing it is now we're starting to work with local malls, different property estates to launch their own sort of clubhouse program. So this is the new membership system that we will soon be launching with Nova Grand's new mall. They just softly opened recently. So their loyalty program, the membership program, will be embedded within MPay. So obviously, when you spend, it will automatically give you the points, and where you can go back to this, to the mall to burn your points or to download coupons. So similar, we will be doing with other malls as well, and even residential estates. For example, Nova Grand, they will be using MPay and Macao Pass as part of the residential clubhouse booking, access card services, car park, and so on. One Oasis, currently they're using VOC, but they will soon be using us. So yes, this is what in a nutshell, this is what we do. So about the future, I think I've got a lot of questions this morning about, okay, what next for you, Joe? What next? What is next for MPay? I would say, the future is we're in a crossroad for the future. So MPay has picked up popularity after 2 years of hard work. Before, Macao Pass as a company, was in Macau for many years, peacefully, working very well, across all banks and merchants. But as we work really hard to develop a new sector in electronic payment, in the beginning, we were left alone. We're doing good. We're picking up. We're driving the market. But recently, in the last year or so, since we have picked up popularity, we've received an increasing pressure, to how much we can do in Macau. With the new government's direction, I'm not too sure how much he fancy having a local guy like me holding the big data for Macau. So we are in an interesting time, a lot of negotiations. The two major banks, Chinese banks in Macau, are increasing their competitiveness by burning even more dollars in the market to attract new users, to try to lower down our profit margin to now negative margin. Even though we charge a commission fee across all transactions, but now the fees are being lower and all the cash incentives are being put back in the market so much to the point where per transaction we are actually losing money. It's hard to believe, right? So we're in a crossroad where we're negotiating hard with the government to what we can do or what we can offer. We're doing our best, honestly, to bring more services, to bring more convenience to Macau. We became the first overseas mobile wallet to be allowed to fully use within mainland China just the end of last year. So that was big news. So in the future, what can we do? I mean, on the paper or on my usual talks, I would obviously be on the more optimistic side. I would say, okay, given our great momentum, the perfect picture to paint really is to leverage on the cross-border relationship we've had. We will continue to build on our network, currently being by far the largest network in Macau, and leverage on the cross-border to bring traffic both sides, Macau to mainland China to Macau. We can provide a channel for transactions across all banks and merchants. We can upgrade our licensing, our financial licensing, to hopefully bring new cross-border financial products. We can bring in mainland Chinese financial products into Macau, or we can leverage on Macao's great taxation rates to give better financial service to SMEs and individuals within mainland China. So that is a firm direction that we're currently trying to pursue. We are having we receive great support from the central bank in China, from Beijing government. They like what we're trying to do. And they like how we're trying to connect the Greater Bay Area by providing different services. In terms of local government, they're having maybe yes, I don't know what they really want at the moment. They're still thinking. One side they like what we're doing. The other side that they want to retain more control to what we can do. And the new chief executive, he seems to pretty favor the state-owned companies to control different parts of the financial or economic segment, from transportation to commodities to obviously financial sector is a big for him. So now we are in a crossroad. I'll continue to push for the direction I just mentioned. So the two outcomes in the future for us will be, first, we can either stand on the front line. In the front line meaning we will drive with our brand, with MPay, with Macao Pass to provide the directions that I just mentioned. Or we could maybe take a step back. We'll still here, we'll still be here, we'll still be providing all the services as mentioned, but as a back end for the government. We could give our network to open up furthermore, to share our services with the government or with the two state-owned banks, and to help them drive this type of segment. So we can either fully partner with them and take a more backstage end to what we can do. Providing infrastructure and services and so on, or we can drive it ourselves. So it's interesting time at the moment. So here I am sharing what we can really do openly and without being overly critical to what's happening to our company at the moment. So yeah, I hope this gives everyone a good idea of what we're doing, and I hope we will keep this casual and open. And if there's any questions, please ask. I'll be more than happy to share and to answer. Thank you.